What is Communist Party? You just do what party asks you to do, said by Wang Qishan.
什么叫中国共产党？党叫干啥就干啥，是你当时向党申请入党和举手宣誓时候确定，是不是？我告诉你，我们中纪委现在人事变动之前，我绝不和一般的都不和个人谈，都等党主席定了，我说因为什么？我的历史上好几次我人都是党定了通知我的，没征求过我意见。我说因为什么？我的历史上好几次我人都是党定了通知我的，没征求过我意见。
外分子在党内没有任何藏身之地。
Since he took power, Chinese President Xi Jinping's signature domestic policy has been a crackdown on corruption. An estimated 1.5 million government officials have been punished for corruption-related charges since 2012. The list includes army generals and the former president's chief of staff, as well as Sun Zhengcai, once seen as a potential successor to Xi. The executing body has been a secretive investigative unit known as the Central Commission for Discipline Inspection. In the past, it has operated under a system known as Shuanggui, which allows for party members to be detained and investigated for indefinite periods without due process. Critics allege that Xi Jinping has used the anti-corruption campaign as a weapon to eliminate political rivals. Human rights activists have denounced the use of torture to extract confessions, which has sometimes led to deaths. The government says it handles corruption cases according to law. Over the years, the scope of Xi Jinping's efforts to root out graft has expanded. The party recently created a new investigative agency called the National Supervisory Commission. The detention and interrogation process can now be applied to people outside of the party, like business executives accused of graft, for example, or movie star Fan Bingbing, who's been accused of tax evasion. It's now called liuzhi, which means retention in place, and party officials say it is subject to legal and procedural checks that prevent abuses. In fact, people can be detained for months without access to lawyers or courts. Recently, China's government demonstrated that its reach extends all the way to the top of Interpol, the international police organization. Meng Hongwei, the head of Interpol and also China's Vice Minister of Public Security, disappeared while visiting China in late September. Interpol itself said his detention came as a surprise, and China's government ignored its request for information for days after Meng's wife reported him missing in France.
Tonight, a deep mystery surrounds Meng Hongwei, who has vanished from his post in France, missing for more than a week.
This is very strange because this is a very high-ranking position within Interpol.
Meng, a former top Chinese law enforcement official, was assigned to Interpol headquarters in Lyon, France. But a senior French law enforcement official tells CNN he was not on French soil when he was last seen. Meng's wife was the person who reported him missing. But even though he'd been missing for more than a week, she didn't tell police until Thursday night, French officials say. The French Interior Ministry says Meng's wife had recently received threats over the telephone and social media.
The wife is going to be the key. Obviously, when did she last talk to him? They'll look at whatever digital footprint he's got. They'll look at his email, his official email that he used at Interpol.
And there are questions about whether Meng Hongwei's disappearance is related to threats on his wife. Some reports say Meng returned to China, then disappeared. The South China Morning Post newspaper, known to have connections to Chinese authorities, cites an anonymous source saying Meng is under investigation for unspecified reasons and was taken away for questioning by so-called discipline authorities.
From now on, I've gone from sorrow and fear to the pursuit of the truth, justice and the responsibility towards history, for the husband who I deeply love, for my young children, for the people of my motherland, for all the wives and the children's husbands, and the father to no longer disappear. Even though I cannot see my husband, our spirits are always connected. I believe he will support what I'm doing. This issue is about fairness and justice. It is about international society and about my motherland and its people who I love. The Ministry of Public Security statement said Moon's suspected corruption or violation of laws had gravely jeopardized the party and the police, adding that it will form a task force to investigate anyone else suspected of taking bribes with Moon. The ministry leaders reiterated that they would strictly enforce Communist Party discipline and steadfast obey and carry out the party's decisions and plans. No place for any negotiation or bargaining with the party, the statement read. Meng Hongwei is still alive at the moment, but the possibility for him to come out alive, the chance is no. His wife, Ms. Gao, is a very intelligent and nice person. She will be either killed or kidnapped. She's going to blow the whistle, and that's why we need to see the nature of the two courts. It's not her fault that grade school married to Meng Hongwei. Anyone has the right to choose their love, the right to freedom, which is a basic human right. It was impossible for her to check if he had committed to a crime before she got married and investigated with the procuratorate. This is impossible, especially in the CCP's big vat. This is even less likely. She has the right to love him. No one has proven her involvement in Moon's crime or give Wen Gui and other Interpol's red notice. She stands out and fighting back the Chinese Communist Party. She has conscience, and she is the justice. So she's our brothers and sisters. She is a woman we should be compassionate, protective, and caring. She decided to come out and challenge the CCP. We need to respect her. Meanwhile, it is possible that she could hurt the CCP significantly. So to speak, the possibility that Meng Hongwei comes out alive is known.
具有重大性的改变对 CCP 和伤害，我们要更加的尊重。所以说呢，我深信孟宏伟先生
Ms. Gao will either be killed or she will blow the whistle. This is my answer. Thank you.
一定会爆大料，这就是我的答案。谢谢。
Everybody knows that the dice are loaded. Everybody rolls with their fingers crossed. Everybody knows the war is over. Everybody knows the good guys lost. Everybody knows the fight was fixed. The poor stay poor, the rich get rich. That's how it goes. Everybody knows.